starting with some breaking news coming in. Trouble is mounting for hate preacher Zakir Naik in Malaysia, and none other than the Home Minister this time has come out and warned Zakir Naik. He came out and said that no one in Malaysia is above the law and that Zakir Naik should consider his permanent residence status as a privilege. Home Minister, in fact, also said that no one is above the law if they are shown to have committed wrongdoing, including controversial Indian Muslim preacher Dr. Zakir Naik. Clearly trouble growing for Zakir Naik. Remember earlier on we've also been getting reactions from the Prime Minister of Malaysia, and now the Home Minister comes out and says that no one is above law and action will be taken if Zakir Naik continues with his hate speech propaganda. In fact, he also said that although Naik has received support and even invitations to meet with party leaders, including various ministers, this would not affect the investigation against him. Anilesh joining us live. Anilesh, the Malaysian authorities certainly there, not taking light note of the latest as far as Zakir Naik is concerned, also saying that they will not ignore anything as far as the investigations are also concerned. Clearly trouble mounting there for the hate preacher.
Certainly, we should not forget one very simple fact, that there are over 100 complaints against Zakir Naik. Now the matter is, of course, under investigation. There is not just one incident where he has spoken something about the Hindu community living in Malaysia, or Chinese for that matter. There are more than 100 people who have come forward, and they have clearly shown their concerns about the presence of this very controversial preacher there now. As far as we understand at this point of time, the ministers are certainly putting the pressure over the Prime Minister to deport him. That is a section of ministers, I would say, is clearly of the opinion that if Zakir Naik is given an opportunity to stay in this country any further, maybe he can apologize at this point of time. But given an opportunity, he may go back to his usual rhetoric. Remember the kind of people he has gained support from in Malaysia are those people who are clearly hardliners. Malaysian Islamic Party is one of those parties which has come forward to support him. But other than that, if you see the ministers, if you see the MPs, if you see the NGOs, if you see the civil societies there, they all have said that he should be respecting the PR status that he was given. Remember, he was given a shelter in a country because he was, in a way, I would say, a fugitive running away from the law of his own country. So in a way, when he was given an opportunity to remain in a country and continue with his business, when he was given the opportunity, he came back in his old color. Now, as far as the current statement by the Home Minister, Mr. Yassin, is concerned, well, he clearly says that no one is above the law, and which is rightly so. There is another person coming forward from the People's Justice Party saying that, the investigation is underway, so we'll have to wait till the investigation is finished. But as far as we understand at this point of time, the mood in general in Malaysia is against what he said about the Hindus, because remember, Malaysia is a country where Hindus and Muslims have lived together for decades and probably centuries. For there, an outsider, quote unquote, goes in and tries to drive a wedge in the society is simply not acceptable. And these are not my words, these are the words of the ministers.
Right. Anilesh, in fact, in that sense, we can also say that there's a shift as far as, call for his deportation is concerned, because earlier on, suddenly we had a growing clamor of calling for his deportation, various ministers coming out and calling out for his deportation, and suddenly there is a political divide over the same matter. So can we say that the entire, the entire event wherein he could be deported could see a delay in that sense? Anilesh, if you can hear me, I'm trying to point out the fact that earlier on we had various ministers suddenly call for Zakir Naik's deportation, and now we see a political divide over the same issue. Could we say that the event leading to his deportation could now see a delay?